Hi, it's Jodi. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'll be making cream of tomato soup. Now for the cream of tomato soup, this is really super easy, okay? We're gonna start with canned tomatoes, whole plum tomatoes. This is a 100-ounce can. If you don't have a 100-ounce can, these are whole, like I said, whole peeled tomatoes. If you don't have a large tin like this, you can also use 4 small 28-ounce tins of tomatoes. You can use the whole ones, you can use the diced tomatoes as well, but don't use the crushed, okay? So we're gonna start with, first of all, we're gonna add this to a large stock pot. So I'm gonna turn my stove on. I'm going to add the tomatoes right to the pot, okay? And to this, I'm going to add a half a tin of water. Just like that. Right in there. I told you this is really super easy. And now to the tomatoes, I'm going to add 2 peeled carrots, 1 peeled onion, just chop that up, 1 red pepper, I've got 2 cloves of garlic, and I normally put in a couple of stalks of celery. I didn't have any on hand, but normally that's what I add as well. If you don't have it, oh well, whatever, we'll do without. And now to this, I'm adding 4 chicken bouillon cubes. You can use chicken. If you want to keep it completely vegetarian, then add the vegetable bouillon cubes. Just add that to the stock pot. I've got it on high. Bring it to a boil, and then we'll put it down to the simmer. Okay, so our tomatoes now have come to a boil. I'm going to turn the heat down just to a medium high. I'm going to put a lid on, and we're going to let this cook for 30 minutes. And in 30 minutes, we'll be back. So we're back to the tomato soup now. It's been cooking for 30 minutes. Now you're going to want to give it a little test just to make sure everything is nice and soft inside, because now we're going to have to blend our soup. So again, my favorite piece of equipment in the kitchen is my immersion blender. If you don't have one of these, then you'll be blending your soup in a blender. But remember, before you put it into a blender, let it cool a little bit. Okay, and this way it'll be easier and it won't kind of pop back up at you when you're blending it. But I like my immersion blender. So now we're just going to blend it all up really good until it's smooth. Just be careful because it's really hot and you don't want any soup jumping back up at you and burning you. So there. See, I told you this was easy. Just blend it all up. The immersion blender is so much easier than an actual blender. Less to clean, actually. And it does the job really quickly. Okay, so there, it's all blended up. I'll just take this out of the way. And now this is the most important part of this soup. Yes, you could probably leave it like this, but then it's all got kind of little pieces in it and skin from the peppers and the tomato. So now I like to strain it. So I'm going to put this pot here, just move things around. Make sure you've got a ladle right here. Just give everything a little bit of a wipe. Okay, so I've got another pan and I've got a strainer. Okay, so now This is probably the most work out of this soup. We're just going to, ladle by ladle, strain our soup so that we have a nice, silky smooth soup. Okay, so we're just going to move it back and forth through our strainer. Okay, this takes a little bit of patience, but it's well worth it in the end. Okay, so just continue straining your soup. I'll strain my soup here, and I will be back to show you our next step. Okay, so now we've strained all our soup back into a pot, and look at how smooth that is. Okay, so now to finish off our soup, I've turned the heat back on. To this now, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. Sounds like a lot, but no, not really. We're gonna add some pepper. Now this is all to taste. The pepper is to taste. You're gonna add some salt to this as well. Maybe you're not gonna add salt to this. Give it a taste before you start your seasoning, just so that you have an idea which direction you're going into. Okay, because you're the cook here. You're making the soup. I can't give you the exact measurements of salt and pepper. That's totally up to you. So we'll just give it a bit of a stir. Okay. Now I'm going to give it a taste. I've got my tasting spoons here. That's just about right. Maybe just a few more shakes of pepper. There we go. And now to this, I'm going to add 1 cup of 35% cream. Some people ask, why can't I just add milk to this? Well, if you're going to add milk, it's going to curdle. This way, with the whipping cream, nothing curdles. It makes it nice and smooth and, oh, delicious actually. So we'll just add the cream. It makes it just nice and rich. There we go. We'll give that a stir. And look at how the color changes. Doesn't that look good? Okay. Yummy. Okay. And now to add something real, just to really finish it off, I'm going to add just a little bit of butter to this. So say maybe 2 tablespoons of butter. Okay, and we'll get a whisk, and we'll just whisk it all in. And there, my friends, is beautiful cream of tomato soup. Look at that. It's all whisked up. Give it a little bit of a taste. Oh man, absolutely delicious. This paired up with grilled cheese sandwiches, to die for. But you know what? This is just your basic cream of tomato soup. Now to this, you can add, boil separately, maybe cheese tortellini, and add that to it. But don't boil the pasta right in the soup. You want to do that separately. You can add the tortellini, or you can cook rice separately and add it. Now you've got tomato rice soup. You can boil any other pasta that you like. Keep it small, little small shells, little elbow macaroni, the little tubes. Boil that separately and add it to your soup. There you go. There's umpteen possibilities for this. You can add a little bit of Parmesan cheese to it if you'd like. I like to add parsley. That really makes it look great. But there you go, your basic cream of tomato soup. Now it's up to you to customize it how you'd like. So there you go, enjoy. Let me get a bowl and I'll show you just how wonderful it looks. There we go. Now make yourself a couple of grilled cheese sandwiches and dig right in. So there you go. Just move this stuff out of the way. There you go. Cream of tomato soup. Forget that out of a can. It's simple to make. Enjoy.